Freebs, Jordan Page from funcheaperfree.com here. Today we're gonna have the talk, guys. It is time to talk about varicose veins. I started posting about my varicose veins with this last pregnancy. My veins have always been bad, but they were so bad, I started posting pictures, and at first I was kind of embarrassed. Then I was like, you know what, they're kind of like stretch marks. There's nothing you can do. They're just battle wounds, right? Pregnancy battle wounds. So I posted about them and you guys went bonkers for them. You wanted to know everything about them. You wanted to know if they hurt. You wanted to know about the surgeries I had to fix them. You wanted to know like if I could have more kids, if I needed to wait to have kids to fix my veins, all these things. And I just thought I'd do a video and tell you everything I learned. It's just me and my personal experience answering your questions and telling you that you need to get your veins fixed. If you haven't, if you have any form of veins that are bothering you in any way, go get them fixed because I feel like a whole new person. But we'll get there. First, let me start at the beginning. I've always had bad veins, I guess you could say. I remember even in high school being self-conscious about wearing shorts because I didn't have that thick, tan, beautiful skin over my legs like all the other girls did. In fact, do you want to see this? Phlebotomists love me. Okay, let's see if I can get this to focus. Can you, you can see my veins through my skin, guys. It's really easy to draw blood. So, you're welcome. Phlebotomists everywhere. All my aunts, my mom, they all have horrible veins. Varicose veins run in the family. With my first pregnancy, no problems. Second pregnancy, no problems until I was about 7.5 months pregnant, and all of a sudden I had this horrible pain, almost like in my upper groin, lower big pregnant belly area. I don't know how to explain it. We looked online and it was like a textbook hernia. So I was sure I got a hernia. It was so painful. After having my second baby, I went in to get the hernia fixed. Oh, no hernia. And I was like, okay, whatever, doctor, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, oh, really, there's no hernia there. And I was like, I need a second opinion. Okay, lo and behold, there was no hernia. We chalked it up as a pregnancy miracle that it went away, but I still to this day am not exactly sure. But I think it was a vein thing because with my third pregnancy, and keep in mind all of my kids are 18, 19, and 21 months apart. Okay, so they're pretty close. My third pregnancy, bam, the veins popped up and they were horrible, like running up and down my leg, especially in my groin area, right in the crotch, hurt like a monkey's uncle. With my fourth, they were just like excruciating, okay? Up and down my whole leg. They were so thick and swollen, you could see them through my pants. No matter what I was wearing, whether they were sweatpants or jeans, you could see the bulging. Interestingly enough, my actual leg didn't hurt as much, like the veins that ran through my leg. What hurt the most was I had a big purple horrible like blood clot in my foot, and that was so excruciating. And then again, the groin area, just trust me, you don't even need to know. We knew we wanted a fifth child, but being pregnant with my fourth, I thought, oh my gosh, there's no way I can have another baby. There's no way. Like if I have to wait to fix these till I'm done having kids, which is what my OBGYN told me would most likely be the case, I was like, I just can't. It's too painful. Maybe we need to adopt. I don't know. And I was kind of bummed about it. So I went to a vein doctor anyway. I got referred to Dr. Peter Jensen, who's at Utah Vein Specialists, right here. My friend told me about him. And you guys, he's awesome. I went and saw him just before having my baby. I went into the appointment really scared that they were going to say, yeah, this happened because you had your kids so close together. Because a lot of people give me a hard time about that. Or he'd say, yeah, nothing we can do until you're done having kids. And I'd have to just live with the pain. But actually, he gave me so much hope. One of the most poignant things he told me was, he said, I bet your OBGYN told you to wait until you were done having kids to get your veins fixed, right? Yeah, actually. That's kind of like waiting until your kids leave for college to clean their room. Sure, maybe you'll be able to get the room super clean once they leave, but why would you live with the mess? And at that point, there's some messes that are irreversible, stains on the carpet or whatever. That's exactly the same with your leg, and it made so much sense to me. The beauty is, once your veins are fixed, they're totally fixed. They won't have a problem anymore. But your other veins might have another problem, but they were probably going to have a problem with the next pregnancy anyway. So it's like, again, why live with the mess? And oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. My dishwasher's running in the background because I'm in my kitchen. That's probably really loud. Sorry. So when I met with Dr. Jensen, he explained that I just have bad veins, and some people do. He actually put a name to it, venous reflux disease. It's just like acid reflux disease. In your leg, here's a diagram. In your veins, the blood, it flows upward toward your heart, which is, obviously defying gravity. And what happens is you have these fancy little valves that shut it off so that the blood continues to run up. Well, when you have bad veins like I do, then the valves are not working right. So the blood is flowing up, the blood is flowing down, and it's just pooling, creating these big, bulging, aching, hot, horrible veins. So that's what was happening to my leg. Why was it only happening in my right leg instead of my left? I have no idea, actually. They said it's not all too uncommon. Sometimes it just picks a side to hate and torture. I did have back surgery in high school, and it affected my circulation on the right side. I have poor circulation. My right foot is always freezing, and I don't know, so maybe that has something to do with it. I do see a few more like spidery type veins start to show up on the left side with each pregnancy. So maybe now that all my veins are fixed on my right side, maybe it'll transfer over my left side. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So my story is my baby was born November 23rd. I had my appointment, right before she was born, and they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it while you're pregnant. We can't operate, we can't inject you with anything, we just don't even touch it while you're pregnant. So there you go. If you're pregnant, you just have to live with it. We had already hit our deductible that year, and I learned that insurance would cover my vein procedures, so I really wanted to get it done before the end of the year. Insurance companies actually have to pre-approve your procedures and surgeries before you get them done in order for them to cover the cost. They don't cover any of the superficial surface, just cosmetic stuff. It's more like if it's a medical concern like mine were, then they cover that, but they have to pre-approve it first. So it kind of slowed down the process. So we were kind of like chewing on our nails, hoping that insurance would approve it fast enough that I could get the surgeries done before the end of the year. And Dr. Jensen was amazing and squeezed me in, so it was no problem at all. So I had my baby, November 23rd. While in the hospital, my leg started hurting so bad. It felt like someone had injected marbles in my leg. Like you could literally feel, it felt like rubbing your knuckle. It was like a hard, perfectly round spot. And every day another one would pop up in my leg, and they were red, and they x-rayed all of the blood clots. That's what they were. And luckily they were all surface clots, which are not harmful. So like the big blood clot in my foot and the blood clots in my leg, they pose no risk to my health because they don't travel if they're in the surface. But the fact that my body was coagulating, is a word, that my blood was clotting so quickly, they didn't want a deep, dangerous clot to form. So they gave me this horrible medicine, which, by the way, is extremely expensive. Luckily, I had hit my deductible. They would have cost me $700 for these shots for like a 2-week supply, 3-week supply. But they were blood thinners that I had to shoot in my stomach. Shoot myself in the stomach. Give myself a shot. Twice a day. It was horrible. It was horrible, guys. And it never got easier, just for the record. The needle was small, and it didn't hurt that bad. It was just weird. You have to pinch your fat. And I would close my eyes and like just stick the needle in it and just squeeze it out really fast. And I was like, ugh, every time. I didn't like that. So I started taking the blood thinners, and we were just trying to bide some time before insurance could approve my procedures. Once it was approved, bam, Dr. Jensen got me straight in, and right away we did our procedures. Before I get anywhere, let me just tell you that I'm no doctor. A lot of the time when he talks to me, I do this. Days off into space, and a lot of what he says just kind of goes over my head. But they had some really helpful pamphlets, and I took some notes in my phone to understand the basic general idea of what was going on. But I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really want to know. My husband was like watching YouTube videos and Googling stuff, and I was like, ew, I don't care. I just fix it. Like, I don't know if I want to know what you're doing to my leg. I trust you, and I do. I totally trust him. Just do it. That's my personality type. So if you're really curious, just go meet with a doctor. If you're in Utah, go meet with Dr. Jensen. Look it up online, but I'm just going to tell you the general overview, and just know that I'm no doctor, so I might be saying things a little wrong, but I'm doing my best. The cool thing about the vein procedures is that it reminded me of getting teeth work done. You don't have to go to a hospital. You don't have to go to some special clinic. You just do it right there in the chair. He has all of his tools and his assistants, and they don't like put you out, unfortunately. They don't put you under, but he numbed the heck out of my entire leg so I couldn't feel anything. I could feel pressure. I could feel him like tugging and yanking on my leg, but I couldn't feel any sensation. The first procedure was called a closure. Picture like an itty bitty catheter, and he made a little incision in my leg. From what I understand, he puts the little catheter, like snakes it down into my vein and heats it up. It's hot, and just kind of like pulls it out, and it kind of like seals closed, zips up, melts, whatever you want to call it, and just closing up the vein that does me no good anyway. So what happens to the blood now that there's no vein for it to run through? I guess your body is just super genius smart, and it just reroutes and finds new healthy veins to go through. I don't know. It's weird. No, I couldn't see any of it or feel any of it because, you know, you're kind of laying back on the table. I would have had to like lean up and over to see. And actually it didn't take that long at all. The procedure was like, I wish I could remember, 45 minutes. Start to finish, including them like scrubbing down my leg and getting all like gloved up and stuff. And I just read my gossip magazines and listened to music, and it was fine. I even drove myself home after that procedure that day. It was no big deal. Then I came back the next day to do my second procedure. And the reason why he broke it up was simply because I had a brand new baby and was nursing, and so I had to bring the baby with me, and it just seemed like a long time for me to be stuck on a table not being able to attend to my baby. Otherwise, we could have done them same day, bang them out in like 3 hours and be done. But the next day I came back, and the next day's procedure was called a phlebectomy. Do I sound really smart for knowing that word? A phlebectomy is removing bad veins that are like doing me no good. Stripping is an old procedure that isn't really done that often anymore. It's gruesome and it's painful. They basically like pull your entire vein out in one shot or something horrible. This phlebectomy, it's done with a new procedure that is much less invasive and much less painful and gruesome. So I don't want to gross you out, but you asked, so here you go. Basically what he does is, he lays me down, he gives me a shot, completely numbs that area of the leg, makes a little tiny incision, and takes a hook, kind of looks like a crochet hook, guys. He cuts both ends of a section of the vein, hooks it, and pulls it out of the tiny incision in my leg, and throws it away. And he does it again and again and again, and that's it. Warning, I'm about to show you a really gross picture. I'm going to show you what it looks like when he's removing the vein. It's not very bloody, but it's a vein halfway out of my leg. So if you're curious, then on your marks, get set, here it is. Okay, see, it wasn't that bloody, but it was like kind of gross, huh? With that procedure, it took a little bit longer. I feel like maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. And he did, I wish I could remember, I think it was something like 35 incisions. And it basically was just all the way up my leg, just little tiny nicks. My mom did drive me home from that procedure, not because I was in pain or groggy or any of that, but more just because my leg was so wrapped up that it was really stiff. After those 2 procedures, several months went by, and now we're in the final stage where we're doing what's called sclero treatments. I go into his office, it's like a 45-minute appointment, hour appointment, and he finds kind of the purple or spidery looking veins, kind of the stuff that still doesn't look super pretty, and he injects it with a solution of like glycerin and Novocaine, so you don't feel anything. It numbs that part of your leg again, And it just feels like you're getting a little, like a flu shot, maybe. But not even that bad because the Novocaine kind of numbs it. He injects it, and I don't even know what it does necessarily, but the injection makes the veins look prettier. It brings down the discoloration, it brings down the swelling, and you guys, it's a miracle worker. The sclero is like incredible. It totally works. The sclero, unfortunately, is not covered by my insurance. So meet with your doctor to see what that costs. The only thing that I found to be really uncomfortable in the procedures, they inject this epinephrine. And I don't know what it's for, but all I know is that it's like a huge flash of adrenaline, and it makes your heart race, like beating through your chest. And I was laying on the table, like, you know, doing emails on my phone during the procedure, and I got all jittery. It was like somebody gave me a ton of caffeine, and my phone was shaking. I thought I was going to drop it on me, and it's kind of uncomfortable. I told Dr. Jensen, I was like, does this burn calories? Because that would be awesome. Oftentimes there's some nerve damage because, I mean, you're removing veins from your leg that are kind of like embedded in there, right? So by removing the veins, sometimes it kind of messes with some nerves and causes a little nerve damage, but it gets better over time. It comes back, so I'm not worried about it. Who needs to feel the inside of your shin anyway, please? My leg looks great. I still have little tiny purple scars from all those tiny little incisions that he made for the phlebectomy. And that's really kind of one of the only telltale signs that he worked on my veins. In terms of the recovery over the next few days, it was pretty uncomfortable, I will say. I mean, I had a ton of little tiny incisions in my leg, and I mean, I had some veins removed. And so I had to leave the bandages on for a couple of days. I had to leave my leg elevated. And then finally, when it came time to remove the bandages, the gauze was so bloody and it was just matted against my leg. I was so scared to look, but it wasn't that bad. Once I finally got in the shower and washed off the dried blood, it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't gruesome. It wasn't like I had major gaping injuries or anything. They were just tiny little nicks or cuts. He didn't even have to stitch them or anything. Whatever procedure I have done, even the like surface sclero treatment, I have to wear these horrible compression hoses that I hate, that I'm really bad wearing. Don't tell my doctor, but I hate them. So just know that you have to wear them, and they're really expensive, but they're good. If you're gonna do it right. So I usually have to wear them like 24 hours a day for, you know, at least a couple of days after the procedures. The big procedures, it was even more than that. Sclero, it's like the first 3 days, I wear them all day. And then after that, he wants me to wear them like during the day over the next couple of weeks for the most part. Not the best at it because they are horrible and it's getting hot outside and they're really hot, but I don't want my veins to have any more issues than they already do. So I try to be a good girl. I've done 3 sclero treatments and then the other 2 major procedures that I did before the end of the year, and we might be done. I'm going to go back in a couple of months after all the sclero's kind of settled in and washed out, and he's going to take a look and kind of see how things look, and we'll decide then what to do next, if anything. Do we plan to have more kids? Yes. We know that there's at least one more. We kind of just take it kid by kid. So yeah, there's one more, and then we'll see after that. Will my veins go bad again with the next pregnancy? Yes and no. So I do have superior venous reflux disease. So I have bad valves, bad veins. When I'm old, something will probably go wrong. If I gain a ton of weight, something will probably go wrong. If I'm pregnant, something will probably go wrong. I'm just lucky, I guess. But any of the veins that have been fixed are fixed. I'm so glad that I did the treatments and the procedures, because for now anyway, I have no more pain. My leg looks 1,000 times better, and it was just worth every dime. I wish that I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have done it like right away when the veins started popping up, because I lived with so much horror and so much pain and embarrassment over the last few years that I should have gone. So for any advice to anybody out there, all I have to say is, if you have even a single vein that bothers you, if it bothers you in any way, why live with the mess? Like, seriously, it's your body. It's the only one you have. It's the only one you're going to get. Like, just go take care of it. It might cost some money. Maybe cut out eating out for a while, or figure out an insurance that would cover it. Do what you need to, but I am a totally different person, you guys. I'm not embarrassed to wear a swimsuit or shorts, and I'm not afraid of getting pregnant again. So I really recommend it. I don't know, I don't know if that helps somebody out there. That's pretty much all I know. I think I was really sleep deprived when my first couple of procedures happened because I had a newborn. So I'm sure I'm forgetting quite a few details. But if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to stay on top of them, and maybe it'll help jog my memory if there's something I forgot. But in general, that's kind of how my experience was. It wasn't that bad. Totally worth it. All the discomfort, any pain, or any issues with recovery, totally worth it. So that's it. I hope it helps somebody. I hope you're amazed by my befores and afters, and I hope it gives you hope for your own legs. So if you or anyone you know struggles with any form of vein issues, will you just tag them in this? If you don't do it, you're crazy, because I'm just so much happier now. I'm a happier mom, and my husband loves it because I don't hide under sweatpants anymore. So I guess if nothing else, there's that. Go to funcheaporfree.com to check out all my other randomness, most of it being tips on frugal living and how to live a great life on any budget. And be sure to check out my other videos here on YouTube. It was great talking with you guys. I hope you have a great day. Bye.